said, I'll call you right back, I'm in a meeting.
My kid, who lives in
Wait,
Colorado, is
this
supposed to
afternoon,
be,
wait this afternoon.
both their birthdays are this week. They're turning 30, so they're going to
Here's-
St.
Here's
Kitts.
some questions that
They have a
that are
winter
running
storm
through my
warning
head.
out there.
I have no idea.
They haven't gotten
why
snow all
I called you
winter, and
yesterday.
today they're supposed to get a foot of snow.
As a matter of fact, they.
Said it's been snowing all day.
Hopefully they have clothes for that.
Yeah.
All right, so, guys ready to get called to order? Ring the gavel. Do we have citizen participation or comments? Was Lyle gonna give a speech as a citizen tonight, or?
It's wet outside.
And cold.
All right, so we're moving on to approval of the minutes from April 7th, 2026. Have any notes about that, or a motion or second to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. I guess I need to actually speak in the microphone for purposes of recording, don't we? I need to think of that.
Whatever.
Hello? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And no opposed. So moving on to approval of payments / invoices posted. Have any notes on that before we move into?
I do not.
I just have one question. Probably Lyle can answer this. All the extra expenses are coming from the electrical department, is that right?
As far as what that?
Well, as far as the new construction, are we having to pay for all that, or are they paying for it?
No, not all of it.
Not all of it, but some of it we,
If we're reworking the main lines,
that's ours.
that's on us,
But anything else is theirs?
and that's correct.
Okay, okay,
So with the work that was being done over at Fabic, for
Okay.
example, we did change a couple of the 34.5 line poles
Okay.
out there. I think that's line 80. I believe we changed out four poles on that project. That was on us.
okay,
But as far as we took the underbuild down, and we put it underground. Just, our concern was big trucks, heavy equipment on the back of big trucks.
okay,
We didn't want to run the risk of getting something home. So that was actually a partnership with the developer.
okay,
We paid for the wire, he paid for the vaults,
okay,
the conduit, did the digging, the backfill.
okay. I didn't know if it was ever said, but I would assume they're gonna pay for part of it.
Yes.
Okay. That's the only question I had.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so moving on to people service.
All right, highlights this month. We jetted about 750 feet of sewer line, replaced a 4-foot section of it when we had the main break over behind the State Farm building there. And had the one main break. Let's see, installed a new service on Matlock Drive. And then had to repair one service line that the underground team hit up on Holly. So, and Amazon filled their tank without any issues at all, so. I think that more or less covers the highlights of it.
Any questions for
Nothing,
Greg?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that name.
nothing big happened this month out at the sewer plant or anything.
No, we didn't have any major things go on. We're still working on trying to get on the plan for getting the rotor back up, because we're gonna have to pull line out there. Probably gonna have to put in a new conduit. So we're working on trying to get everything lined out, figure out where all the current power lines are going to motor. So that is still in the works.
All right, so going on to Lyle.
So,
Thank you.
I've only got a couple items this evening. I know we've got some other business we're gonna have to contend with. So, basically, all of the electric is completed out for Fabic Caterpillar project out on, Aviation Boulevard. As far as, Amazon, that project has been heated up, so they've got power to their transformer. They have decided that they want, EV chargers. So we've gone through the submittal process for that, and they have already submitted their payment, and we've placed on order an additional transformer for that project to cover the the additional power needed for the electric vehicles. They are still on schedule for completion, substantial completion in June. We've had some other folks come in and start some very preliminary things for some additional development in town. So we're looking forward to that. One thing we are doing tomorrow is we are gonna raise a manhole that's been lost at the intersection of South Jefferson and Danny Lane for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I've never seen it the 10 years I've been here. We've also identified, I believe, 5 other additional manholes that we're going to get raised this summer. So as far as sanitation goes, everything's clicking along, keeping the trucks running. I apologize, I walked out of the office and I did not bring that monthly report. With the utility tech guys, they've been in process of continuing to change out meters, so they're steadily making progress on that as well. So that's basically it in a nutshell. Been a busy month.
How are the amount of EVs, is that gonna be like a big demand, or how's that gonna affect us? The
It's
charge?
not gonna affect us with the grid overall. However, that new circuit that we brought out of Parker Sub, has got ample, it can provide ample electricity for that. That was also part of the conversion going to the 7200. So it just makes it's easier to handle that electric with the revised voltage. So,
Anything else for Lyle?
no, sir.
Yeah, I do, one more thing. The guys doing the boring around town, last time we were talking, they hit one of our lines, and we talked about whether they covered it, whether they were gonna pay for any of that. Do you know what happened with that?
That's, basically, once we get done, then that's when all the settlement's gonna go.
Okay.
All right, so moving on to Leanne. I'm stealing that if you don't mind having it on my phone, but it's not cooperating.
A couple of things I'm taking to council that I wanted to inform the board. We did a request for proposals for banking. Right now, we have lots of bank accounts in multiple banks throughout the city. And we put a request for proposal for banking services, banking and investment. So we will be taking an agreement to council for one bank, having, you should need 24 bank accounts when you, for any city. The last city I came from, I think I told you I had $600 million budget, and I think I had 3 bank accounts. The city has about 12 to 24 bank accounts, and there's really they have a bank account for almost every fund, so that's one of the cleanups that I've been working on, but we needed to have an agreement with the bank, and so we will be adopting a new, agreement at the next council meeting. Also wanted to mention that we wanted to invite the utility board, this board, and also the council approved a proposal for Toth and Associates to do a electrical system distribution study. That distribution study is complete. Lyle and the electric team have looked over the study and have had multiple meetings throughout the last 6 or 7 months. And they now have a written document, a study. Toth in their proposal is supposed to come down and give one proposal. They will be here for the May 11th council meeting, and I want to personally invite, I apologize, I wish we could have it at the utility board meeting and the council meeting, but in the proposal, we only asked for one, for them to come down. They are in Springfield, Missouri. Is that where they're from now, Springfield?
Yes.
Yes. And so they will actually be here personally, so I want to invite the utility board to come to that May 11th meeting. We hope to also have it on YouTube as well. They will be giving a presentation, and we're gonna do it early in the meeting, so that way, you know, with them being from Springfield, that way they can give the presentation and then, you know, go home and get home to, you know, Springfield. So, please, if you can make that meeting, it is Monday, next Monday on the 11th, okay?
What time?
Our meeting starts at 6 o'clock, so I would assume it's right after the pledge and the adoption and things. So I would say probably no later than 6:15, 6:20, so. And there was something else, Andy, can you remember?
The audit.
Oh, yes, the audit. And also on May 26th, since y'all know I've been out of the office and I'm trying to play catch-up, we have two council meetings in May. Our auditor is going to be here at our second council meeting, which is May 26th. That's the Monday after Memorial Day. And he is going to be giving a presentation on our audit. He is now finished with the audit. This audit is May 1st of '23 through April 30th of '24. While he is here for that year, yes, but while he is here for that day to personally give the audit, he is also going to be here that week to start the next year, which that year will be a 17-month audit because, as you know, the city and the utility board, I guess, changed their fiscal year. So he's going to be doing 17 months together. That will be May 1st of '24 all the way through September 30th of '25.
Yes.
And so hopefully after he does that one, and that one should not take as long because everything now is cleaned up. We've cleaned up all of our capital assets. We've cleaned up our accounts. We are now completely reconciled. I mean, we're squeaky right now. So we're hoping that hopefully he can take all these numbers out of our ERP system, put them into his big spreadsheets, and he can hopefully spit something out, hopefully within, 3, 4, 5 months, if hopefully less than that. So that is our game plan, and that's what I have for tonight for my presentation.
Is that at 6 also?
Pardon me?
Will that be at 6
That will
o'clock?
be at 6 as well, sorry. Yeah, all the council meetings are at 6 o'clock.
Anything big on the utility side that you know is coming with that?
For the audit?
Yeah.
No, not really. There are some, I will honestly tell you, as things were happening, things that we needed to work on, I took care of them. Like, for instance, the procurement code, the council approved a new procurement code. And so we, he marked that off his list. I just gave today to Lyle and to Andy a capitalization policy for all of our capital projects, since we are doing quite a few of them now. And that is something we do need to adopt an investment policy. However, I found out today that the state treasurer has a really great investment policy, and so I'm going to be looking at that investment policy and probably just use it and put it into our municipal code, which is usually what you do. You just take the state and put it into your own code. I've heard it's a really good code. So those are just things that they said that we needed to put in there. There are a few things that we need to do as far as like cash handling. So we are working on a cash handling policy as well right now. I'm working with Andy and Linda on a cash handling policy. So it's just mostly some internal things. I think the policy that we're bringing forward to you tonight, that we want to bring to council, that's one of the things as well about our customer service, our billing, and our collections. That's one of them as well. So we tried to get ahead of him, let's put it that way. So since it was taking so long, I kept asking him, what's the next one, what's the next one, what's the next one? So that way we were checking it off on his to-do list, and so we were ahead of the game. At least in that category we were.
I think I may have told you this before, but if you look back, like historically, like most of the same things we were flagged for every year, never were fixed
And
year to year to
that's
year to
not-
year to year.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
No.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. If you have something that happens, it should be fit, because the way audits are supposed to do is that, you know, when when something is wrong, I have to write I have to say, this is how we're gonna fix it, and this is how long it's gonna take to fix it. And then you tell the auditor that, and when they come back in, they look at those notes that I wrote, and then they double check and make sure that I fixed that, you know. So like, for instance, one of the things in the cash handling is when we have a certain amount of cash, then we need to call for a police officer to come and be with one of us when we go to the bank, you know, because we may have a day where we get a really large amount of cash and we need to, you know, because there's only one person going to the bank instead of two. So it's things like that we're writing in this cash handling.
are we jumping into I guess it's all you, everything else?
So, Andy, do you mind helping me? Yeah, I have a PowerPoint. So part of this is a PowerPoint. So I did, I appreciate Lyle giving you the financials at the last board meeting. Can you just go down to the utility section? It's probably the last two, right before the questions. Right there, that should be it, yeah, solid waste. You're gonna have to flip through, I'm sorry. So we're so I am asking for your approval to take to council an adjustment for solid waste. As you know, we brought forward to you the increase for the rates for solid waste, but at the time that we brought that rate increase, we did not increase the revenue because we did the budget before we did the rate increase, okay? So what we're asking now here is that we increase the rates, so now we're asking that we increase our revenue, so that way we can, you know, increase that. We're not asking to increase our expenditures. None of the expenditures increase, but the revenue that we have received or that we are anticipating to receive would be an additional $131,011. As you can see from the fund summary that was in your packet, if you go down to where it has the ending balance on there, and I apologize, there's no page numbers on there, but if you do look at the ending balance, they are still in the negative, and if you'll remember, I told you when we did the new rates that we would still be in the negative on the first year. So my projection was correct, okay? So when we go into our next fiscal year, FY27, we're going to be coming to the utility board for that second year, because remember we showed you 3 years of increases for solid waste, but this board recommended that we only do 1 year at a time. The second year is a 53-cent a month increase for the rollout carts, and then an increase for the dumpsters as well. So we will be bringing that, when we're doing our budget, we're going to be bringing that increase to you at the same time. The first year was a little bit of a, and the second year is like, we're slowly, we gave you a big shot and rubbed it, but now we're sort of giving you a smaller shot in the arm. You know what I mean? So that's what this is. The next one on your fund summaries was electric. So I'm going to take the bullet on this one, okay? I'm not adjusting the expenditures, but what we did was I did not change, and I told you when I did the budget, I did not change any of the revenue. One was because I have no background in the history of looking at what the revenue was for the electric, because a lot of things in electric, there was a lot of moving parts, there were a lot of changes in electric, if you'll remember, because of all the rate changes. So I left everything the same from the previous budget. I really thought that budget might work for the revenue, and And the reason I say that is because in the fourth quarter, they hit their budget at 86%. They did. I went back and looked, 86%. And I thought with all the growth that we have seen in the city, I thought we can make that 86% and probably a few more percents more. And we're not making it. We don't know, and Andy and I and Lyle are looking into this. We don't know if it's because maybe consumption, electric, maybe it's not that cold of, weather. I don't really believe that.
Do you think the previous numbers were right?
No, I don't think they were. But on
Because I don't feel like anything's
if you'll
changed.
notice, the residential is, I'm not changing the residential.
Right.
The residential's hitting. What I'm changing is that commercial and, oh my God, the industrial. I don't know where they got those numbers from, but I'm really changing those. But the commercial last year was, so if you look at the fund summary, the commercial, as budgeted at 2.5, the commercial last year was at 2.4. And right now, the commercial is only at 900,000. And that's after 7 months. Something is going on, not quite sure what it is. And remember last year, I kept saying something was going on with the service availability fee, and we figured that out, but we are going to contract. We're taking bids right now, we're getting bids to contract with, and Lyle help me, with this company that comes in and reviews your demand meters.
No,
It's not demand meters, what is it?
no, it's for the three-phase.
The three-phase meters, okay.
I mean, actually, we could have all the meters tested, but,
So you're
Bill
thinking
is
that
best to do it
Yes.
with the
they're not-
three-phase meters.
We're thinking that either we got wrong multipliers in the systems, or,
that's like
There's no way to go back and get that one.
huge.
Yeah, that's gone.
so, well, but we need to know. if
Yeah,
that's what it
oh
is.
yeah, you gotta know.
So we're looking at someone right now, we've got a couple of quotes from different people, and we're going to hire somebody, and they're gonna come in, and they're going to go through every single, you need to point your questions at him.
These the new meters that came in that they're talking back and forth to the city, is that the ones that maybe, when did those
Well,
actually
all of
go in?
those,
The ERTs,
15 years ago.
Random, yeah, well, that could have been wrong for 15 years.
No, but, I mean, a lot of things have changed since then. I mean, and anything can actually, so some of those are the CT, PT meters, could be a loose wire.
yeah.
They look at that. It could be a multiplier is incorrect. It could have been something, I say, with the transition from, G-Works to Tyler.
How many do you think could be bad because of that? Like
Okay,
4 or 5?
what about
Or
comparing to the year before
40?
that?
That I don't know. I mean, I'm not
Well,
even hazard to guess that.
he thinks it's the conversion, but the conversion is already done, and if it was the conversion, then the revenue the year before would have been it, because we've been in Tyler for more than 18 months, so I don't think it's the conversion. I don't think it has anything to do with the ERP system. If it has something to do with the ERP system, then it has to do with when the customer service goes and pulls the data from one software into the ERP system. That could be something as well. I don't know. But now, we've gone halfway through the year and we're seeing this. It's like, okay, bells and whistles are going off and we need to do something. And so, the person that we purchased our meters from came down. This young man has a wealth of information. I learned so much from him. And he is, and also what triggered this was the Toth and Associates that's doing the rate study was asking a bunch of questions, and bells and whistles were going off with this as well. So, we just need to really dive into this and look and see what's going on.
Yeah, because we haven't lost anything, like, we haven't lost any commercial business or,
No, I mean.
It's
over the-
actually got-
Over the years, I mean, yeah, I mean, some of our industrial customers have cut down on
Sure.
operations, but
Yeah.
nothing within the last
like,
6
nothing's
months.
closed, yeah. They haven't
Right.
closed down or quit, yeah.
No, and now I will say that, I mean, your aging, I mean, you do have, you know, I think I brought to you the aging report a couple of months ago, and you know, that has grown, because you have a lot of people that, you know, when they leave this town, they don't pay their final bill, and unfortunately, you know, that hurts. You know, and it's, and the biggest portion of a bill is electric. So, yeah. So I want you to know, we're taking this seriously, and we are looking into this, and, you know, numbers don't lie. And so that's why we're diving into this, and we're not gonna stop until we figure it out. And the bottom number could be that we're doing some also, Toth and Associates is helping us, but we're also doing some consumption reports as well. It could just be that people are using less because all of a sudden they're saying, hey, my electric bill is outrageous, I can't afford this, so I'm gonna, you know, hey, kids, start flipping the lights out. We're gonna use less electricity, and it could be that as well. Or they're putting in more energy efficient appliances.
Yeah, but that's on commercial
Yeah,
and industrial.
You said residential is fine,
Yeah.
though, so and that's,
Yeah,
that doesn't matter.
well, I agree, but
Yeah.
it could also be that I just, you know, the budget was wrong. But last year, the commercial came in really well. Actually, the commercial was more, actually, I think I brought that number in here, yeah. Last year, we budgeted for commercial 2.518 million, and the actuals were 2.8 million.
okay, what was it the year before that?
Oh, I'd have to go into G-Works, and
Yeah.
to be honest with you, board member, I can't get in there and even look at that stuff.
Because last year may
I'm
have been
just
the weird
wondering
year,
if
Yeah,
Does any of those meters have any lightning suppression on them?
or the year before, I mean.
Yeah.
And a transformer.
remember how
Yeah,
it was hard,
exactly.
it was
What about
hard
the
for me
meter
to
itself?
do,
Yeah.
Could it
year
take
to
a-
year until
a-
this
I
year
mean,
because of
Could they
going
all
from
take a
one
little bit of
ERP
it to
system
kick
to
them out,
another.
just to, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason you do these audits.
The only way that I can tell you how much money they made is to go back into the audit and look at what your cash flow was and your expenditures were for each of the utilities. And sometimes that cash flow, I don't even know if I'm getting revenue just from, you know, cash is different than just revenue from your rates, so.
Do we need to change anything, like in our expenditures? Put something on hold?
No,
Can we get it figured?
No, because if you look down at the end, your ending balance, you're still in the positive.
Right.
The only reason that you're in the negative is because of the two-thirds reserve that you've adopted. Yeah. So, but you also have to remember that net transfer right there, that 2.1, Andy's only transferring what needs to go into the shared services and what is only needed for debt. She is not transferring anything for capital. So that means that anything for the future for capital is not being tucked away. So, and that is really, you know, talking to Toth, they're also going to be doing another study for me to look at the possibility of developing impact fees for new development for electricity in this area. Because electricity is expensive. We all know it.
So I want to make sure, just clarity so I can explain this right if anybody asks me. So the money we're bringing in has lowered. It's not the amount we're paying for our energy. This is just straight the amount we're getting. Does that make sense?
Well, I'm lowering your budget.
Right, but I mean, our revenue is decreasing, but that's not taking into account what we are paying for the energy.
Oh, no, your energy went up.
So, okay, so is that reflected on that number though? Or is that just?
No, the power purchased
Yeah.
I'm not going to increase the budget for it because you still have budget to pay for that. Because I'm hoping that during the summer, your power purchasing will not go real high and that people will be, but I'm hoping that it will not go over 4.9 million. That is I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Does that include the unexpected?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
So it's just straight revenue, just straight what people are paying
Right.
to the city, not at all based on the costs. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
what's that?
But the thing is that part of the problem is like Toth and Associates, you'll see when they come in, they'll come in and give a presentation when they have the rates. But one of the things is remember what I told you was when Toth and Associates did the last rate study, it did not have the salaries, it did not incorporate the salaries that you pay the linemen now. The rate study was done before all of those increases in the rate, which was a 38% increase in pays and benefits. So, just FYI. And power has increased as well. So, and I apologize, I probably waited a little bit long on doing the study, but it seems to be that electricity is a very sensitive
Yeah.
area, so.
So if I had to give somebody like a 1 sentence summary, our revenue went down substantially and we're not exactly sure why, but we're digging into it. Is that?
Our revenue, we're lowering our budget to match what our actuals are.
Right, but I mean, that's kind of like politicians speak a little bit. I mean, in general
No,
terms.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're lowering our budget to match our actuals.
Right, but I'm saying the actuals were substantially lower, and we just have to figure out why, right?
Right, that is
Okay.
true.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, but they could be lower for multiple reasons that we anticipated them to be higher than they are.
Is Amazon gonna gobble up enough to fill the gap at the end of the year if they're moving in June?
Amazon doesn't open their doors until probably July.
That's what I'm saying, so you got half a
August?
year, well,
Well,
August you
2
don't know.
months, 2
Yeah.
solid
Are they gonna be a
months.
big mover at all?
Nobody quite a draw, yeah.
There'll be a draw, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We've seen their loads, but I don't think it's going to be, I think the bill that we figured they would have every month would be like maybe 20,000 a month.
But-
Honestly, don't remember. I mean, it's not gonna be like a data
Yeah.
center. where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
megawatts,
Yeah.
but-
Well, I guess it does help that they're using electric vehicles then too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that for their fleet or for their customers?
That's
Is that their fleet trucks?
Anything else we need to cover on that then, or just got a motion and a second and vote to approve the adjustment? Is that where we're at? Approve recommending the adjustment?
Yeah. 'Cause it
You wanna do
was-
them one at a,
It's better to have a budget that matches what
Right.
you're actually renewing.
you wanna do them one at a time or all together
No,
or
it's all together.
all together?
Oh, yeah, they're all together.
Okay.
It's one resolution, sir.
I'll make a motion to amend the budget.
I'll
Adjust the
second it.
budget.
Okay, we have a motion and a
Accordingly.
second. Yeah, adopt the resolution recommending it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was everybody, okay? So now we're going to the new terms of services.
Yes. Okay, Bill, give me like 2 seconds to get organized. Okay, so this is one that I have been working on. As y'all know, I've handed out several sections of this over the last, like three months, okay? I think the last month that I wasn't here, I think I actually gave Andy. You emailed it. I emailed it to everyone, the full set. And so what I've done now is I've worked with Linda Cochran, our city clerk, and what I did was I put it in the format of what it would look like as an ordinance. Well, what it would look like as municipal code, so it can go into our code, okay? Instead of the tariff sheets that I gave you, but it's the same language, okay? So, hang on, let me get my notes. So, I built this PowerPoint, so that way we wouldn't have to go line by line, and we can if you want to, but, that's why I sort of gave it to you a little early. So, can you go to the next slide, Andy? So, we're covering 5 different policies in this chapter, 705. In 705, we're going from point 10 to point 40, okay? We're actually adding point 035. So what we're going to be asking council to do is to repeal that whole section and to replace it with this, okay? One of the reasons that we're doing this is not only because of our external auditor, but we're also doing that because a lot of this we're actually doing in the front office, but we have no code or no policy, I should say, that allows us to really do it. So this way, by having this policy, when somebody comes in and says, well, where does it say that you can do this? Well, now we can put our finger on something in our municipal code and say, well, sir or ma'am, this is where it says that we have the right to do this, okay? So I'm going to go through each of those little bullets. The first one, next slide, Andy, thank you, is for the policy for application, billing, and payment of services. And so, next slide. So this is where a person has to come in and they sign up for services. This is not going to change. They're on the back of when they come in, and on the back of the application, they have a term of services. They have to provide ownership. They either have to show that they, deed of their house, or if they have a lease, they show, they have to make an application. They have to make sure that, that we have to make sure that they have an application. We're actually going through every single address now. One of the customer service reps is going through all of the accounts now, making sure that everybody does have one. You'd be amazed, we don't have one on everyone. So we're gonna make sure everybody has one and that make them fill out one. We're making sure that when somebody comes in and they open a new account, we make sure that they don't have an unpaid bill somewhere at a different address, and if they do, they have to pay that off until we give them the service at where they're wanting. In there it says that utilities, city personnel have to have access to the premises to read the meter. I don't know if that happens here. I've never heard any of the meter readers say this in years, but I know where I was in Las Cruces, people would drive over the meters, so that way you couldn't read the meters, because they thought, well, if you can't read the meter, then you won't send me a bill. And so, so it says in here that, you can't obstruct our meters and things like that. You have to give us access to there so we can read the meters or remove any of the equipment. It says in there that we are the owner of the equipment and have the responsibility. We have to have full and unobstructed access to our meters and the service lines. If you are putting in new services, you have to have a permit, and that's something that's really big now. We are doing a lot of permits and stuff like that now. If you have services, it must be metered. They must all be metered. You have to be 18 and you have to be present for activation at your house. Utilities is not liable for any damages that are caused for interruption for any fluctuations in services that are caused by act of God. We did not have that in ours. We are not liable for damage or loss of gas or water leaks on the customer's side of the meter. And we are not liable for any kind of leaks or any kind of, when there are any kind of disconnects. So
Were
that's,
Any kind of disconnects? What line was that?
that is, hang on, let me get my,
The reason I asked was I've known in the past, this is years ago, but I'm sure it's had, people asked for their water to be turned off, for example, and then it wasn't, and then the lines froze, and then it was a whole thing.
so, on the disconnect, so that is where the customer must communicate with their request to disconnect service or services with the customer service, either in person or in writing. And then I give the address or by email. The request must include customer's name, service account number, contact information, and the date to disconnect the service. The customer is responsible for the utility service provided until such request to disconnect is received and finalized. Actual deactivation of service will be completed within 2 to 3 business days from the receipt of the request to disconnect service or services. So that's number 13.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I will honestly tell you, I just found out that we have a home here, no names or anything, but somebody moved out and they had a special circumstances on their bill. And they have a outstanding bill. And so I was asked, do we disconnect them? And it was for medical reasons, and so I had, the police go do a well check. Well, we found out that the house was empty. And they had moved out of the house a month ago. And nobody had ever come in, had asked to have the services disconnected, and then whoever owned the house was in there doing painting and, and so I turned the services off because, nobody had ever informed us. So that was a reason why we put this in here, that we need to be they need to communicate with us, that when somebody moves out, we need to know that they moved out,
Like I said, I've just kind of seen it more on the other side where people request it and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and that's why I put in there the 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, I like
Because
that.
sometimes, especially now with a lot of construction that we have going on, that's the other thing, we're not, I put in there also too, a lot of people, when we do activations, they expect us to go out there like immediately to activate their services. Well, we're not gonna go out there until the next day to activate their services, because our guys are out in the field, they're doing work, and then they'll come in the next morning, grab their work orders, go activate the services, and so, we're trying to get into this routine that activation of services will be the next day, so.
Can I ask you another question? Well,
Sure.
sorry, whatever your approach.
No.
It looks like we cut out the part about like if one person in a group living in a home is delinquent, then the city could cut off their power. Like, we've had that in years past and it's kind of caused some controversy at times. Is that intentional to cut that? Or what's your take on all that? I mean, it's
I think
part
later
G.
on that is in there.
I don't see it anywhere.
If you have, if there's somebody that's living in the home that has a delinquent bill that's benefiting from those services, yes, we can, I think it's in there that we can cut those services off.
Do you remember, I clicked through it, I didn't see it anywhere.
I don't know about that.
Well, the issue,
I
it was,
don't know about
yeah, I'm
that.
not saying I liked it or disliked it, it was hairy because technically, like, let's say you got bad situation, you like moved with your parents or
Yeah,
something, then they could
exactly.
be on the hook for or even if you went to a church and lived with the church, or whatever for a few days, like, there's a lot of issues, but it's in our current code right now, so that's what I was asking.
I did see that one, and could you read it? I don't have it in front of me, I came straight from work here, I should really go back, so I had a whole bunch of them to say, but you're saying,
I thought it was in here, or maybe that was one of the ones that I was thinking.
you're telling me that if someone comes to live in my home who's having a hard time, you can shut my power off because they couldn't pay?
Yeah, until they pay. That's how it is currently.
That
Yeah.
does not need to, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that is ridiculous. I don't think that is right at all.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there's so many scenarios where that is just,
The logic was like a group of, you can imagine what the logic was for
Yeah.
it, but it went a lot of bad ways.
It would go
But-
almost all bad ways.
Yeah, so I'm not opposed to it not being in here, I was just curious if that was intentional, what you thought about it, or.
I don't remember.
I thought it said something to the effect that if you didn't pay your utility bill, it would just fall to the next person on the lease or the ownership, right? So it could go to your, if you had a parent living with you, an elderly parent, it could lean on them. That's how I read it in last month,
Well,
which I
this one,
thought was pretty
Actually,
aggravating.
I can't really find it, so I must have taken it out.
Because I'm pretty sure it said that.
the old one or the new one?
The one that, with the last meeting she wasn't here,
Okay.
I had them all in front of me, and I had that specifically marked because it made no sense. Because if we have an elderly person live with me,
Yeah.
and I can't pay my bill, and you're gonna lean it on them,
Oh,
that's
well,
how that read.
that'd be even set, that's kind of flip-flop of what, yeah, either ways, I
I'm
get you.
almost positive that's how that read, and that
Yeah.
made no sense. Because I am the person responsible, if I can't pay the bill, you need to kill the power, and then have whoever wants to pony up, then take responsibility, not
Oh, and then,
not
yeah,
leaning on my 20-year-old kid or an elderly parent or a veteran or whatever it is. It
yeah,
would make more sense to me to kill the power and then wait for someone to come approach me, like, okay, we're willing to take it.
yeah. So theoretically, that's what it was saying you couldn't do, like, it'd be, yeah, but it's cut out anyway, so.
So that
apparently.
part,
I
Yeah.
I don't really see that in here anymore.
It caused a lot of stink about 10 years ago to have it, so I'm not, but I was just wondering.
Yeah, I didn't follow exactly what y'all already had in there, because some of it didn't really make any, well, it just didn't really flow real well. So when you get to the part about, delinquent account, this is collection, delinquent account settlement, we talk about payment plans. Because you don't have anything in your code about payment. Delinquent account, service shut off and activation. Andy, do you remember me having that in there? I don't remember.
I don't think it was in there.
I didn't think it
Because we
was
don't
in
do it now, so.
Yeah, I think I took it out,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, the logic was you could imagine like a group of like
Yeah,
druggies
now-
or something, there's three of them and one of them ran up their bill, the next month another one would do it.
That
That's
is
it.
why sometimes it's very important, like a husband and wife, if they put the account in both their names together, and then, something happens and one goes, off and wants to open an account, but the other account is delinquent, I will tell you, until that account is paid off, because their name is in that account. So we do tell them, I'm sorry, but your name is on this account. Well, I want my name off of it. Well, I'm sorry,
it's already on.
it's a delinquent, so until this bill is totally paid, I can't open you up at a different address,
That makes
And I know
sense.
But that's different than what we were talking
Right,
about.
oh, I
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah,
different than what you're
that's-
talking about.
Well, there was
but
a,
That's not,
Substantially, yeah.
right, yeah, okay. So, okay, where am I now? Sorry. Okay, so the next one is deposits, refunds, and collections. Okay, so the deposits, Andy, you wanna go to the next slide? 2 slides, actually. So on the deposits, I base the deposits mostly for electric and natural gas on the meters, okay? Because these meters are expensive, okay? So, and I did sit down with the supervisors on how much these meters cost. These can be changed. You guys need to tell me if you don't agree with these. On the residential, I did leave it at $300. The electric meter is a lot more than $100, but the small commercial, those meters are a little bit more than $110. But on the small commercial, because you're talking about mom and pop, small businesses, but these large commercial meters, they can be very, very expensive. And so I did go through those with the electric and also with gas, and they can be rather expensive. And then, of course, on the industrial, that's up to the utility board. I left that there. We can change those numbers and adjust them if you want at this time.
wait, so I thought it used to be $100 for everything or $300 for everything.
And the total for residential, everything right now is $300 for everyone, except for industrial.
So
Cause wasn't
if they
that-
don't have gas, are you
Yeah,
subtracting
you
that?
subtract the
Okay.
gas off of it.
All right.
Yes, right.
So,
So if they don't have gas, you only charge them 49, 40, 43, and 100. That's it. Yeah.
but okay, cause it was, obviously I've had to pay a deposit here in a long time, but I thought it was 100 for everything if if you had like over a year of showing you made payments in another community, and then 300
So,
otherwise.
so
that-
right now, the deposit is $300, but if you have a good credit, then you only have to pay 100.
Okay,
That went away, that's going away. So what it is what we did instead was you pay $300, and if you pay on time for 1 year, then you will get your $300 back in 1 year.
300 or
Well, whatever
whole-
you pay.
the
So
whole
the whole thing
300?
comes back?
The whole
So then
thing.
they don't have any deposit?
They don't have a deposit against the,
They have to pay a deposit if they open up new service.
Yeah, but then
But-
they won't have a deposit.
they won't have one
They
if they go
won't have a
delinquent.
deposit, but for a whole year, they paid on time. And
So
that
we shouldn't
means that
hold
they
like
have their
$100?
credit.
I was
yeah,
thinking,
but it's when they move and don't make their last payment,
Yeah.
that's when I
I'm
want their
saying,
deposit.
yeah, you wanna get 2/3 of it back in the lease and keep 100
How about we just
for-
credit them
yeah.
$200 and keep $100?
Well, I lived at my residence for 14 years, and I paid $300, and I haven't got any of it back.
Well, I know, see, and that's, yeah.
I don't know that you should give any of it back, to tell you the truth. Like he said, if they leave and don't pay their last bill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I get it, but, yeah.
right.
What did you do in St. Cruz?
We gave it all back after 1 year.
Did it
But-
ever fail and kick you in the
I
tail?
mean, I've heard from you a million times how many times students don't pay their last bill.
Yeah,
So-
that is, but they never paid on time anyway. So,
That's probably true.
Well,
yeah,
that's probably true here too,
yeah.
you know.
But, yeah, it's an incentive for them, if you want your deposit back after a year, it's an incentive for you to pay on time. But here's the thing, if after, even though you get if you were delinquent one time, then you have to pay, if you read in here, if you're delinquent for one time, you have to pay, first year, newly established, if you're disconnected in the first 12 months, then you'll have to pay a new deposit based on 2 times the initial deposit. If you're chronically delinquent, then it's 3 times a deposit. So if you're a residential, that's a $900 deposit. Customers applying for utility service found to be unpaid balances or balances for utility services from prior periods will be required to pay a deposit based on 3 times the initial applicable deposit to activate service.
So will that deposit go toward what they're delinquent on, or are you just gonna consume it and then they have to pay that on top of it?
Deposits are never consumed. They
Okay.
always will go into a bank account, and they will always sit there until they leave, and then we have to give it back.
So are you talking about a deposit on the services they already have, or if they would move and try to get new service?
So if somebody, so let's say they have let's say the first year, they get their deposit back, but in the second year, they get shut off, then they're gonna have to pay a deposit again
Oh, to get
to
reestablished?
get reestablished.
Okay.
And if
I
they
get you.
become chronic, then it just grows. You're gonna have to pay double.
So
the
somebody,
deposit.
somebody could have a $200 a month bill, they're late multiple months in a row, they have to pay late fees, and then we're gonna penalize them an extra $600 on top of the late fees after they already,
If it's
Stop
shut
being
off,
late.
yeah, if it's shut off.
It's
I mean, you
shut
have to
off.
be,
yeah.
'cause
Yeah, they're not gonna have penalties or late fees because it's shut off. They're not gonna have anything. This is after they're shut off.
Okay,
Cause you can be late and
yeah,
still pay
okay.
your bill.
So the new deposit only comes into effect
If
if
it's
they're,
shut
okay,
off.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's essentially, yeah, another deposit for new
Yeah,
services.
they can
like
They
you're
can rack
starting
up-
a new service.
shut off fees and penalties, but if they get, all bets are off when they shut off. That's one of the reasons why passing this about the payment plans is really good, because we can, mean, even though we push it now, it's like trying to tell people, come and visit us. Visit us and talk to us about a payment plan before you get shut off.
So what's the time frame between being
Well, that's gonna bury people.
late and shut off? 10 days? What is,
Is that right, 10 days? Yeah.
okay. And then being late, well, see, I guess late is the next day after.
Yeah, the 16th.
16th.
So you're doubling it for what reason?
Because the deposit goes, it's like insurance, so we have money if they don't pay their bill, right?
Correct.
So you're
So
just,
why do we need 3 times that besides just
that's
punitive?
what I'm asking, because most people, that would just bury them.
I mean, if it's insurance to make sure they pay their bill, why do we need?
3 months' rent to get started. If you did, especially 3 times, but.
And they have to pay a reconnect fee, don't they?
Yeah, but how many people do you shut off constantly? I mean, how many people do you have that you shut off more than 3?
Last month, we shut
That's
off
what I mean,
26.
so maybe that's
Yeah,
what we
last
need to
month
take.
we shut off 26.
Okay, and how many times had they been shut off previously in 12 months?
We always have 26.
It's 26 almost.
It's the
every month.
same people every month, so that's what they're trying to,
Yeah,
But they
won't
pay-
be able to turn it on.
yeah, but if they know that they have, well,
They won't be able to turn it on.
They do pay
That's-
late penalties and they pay to get it
but
Turned
she's saying
on,
that's
right?
not gonna happen anymore, it's just gonna be a deposit.
They're not gonna have to pay reconnect fee anymore?
They do.
Oh,
It's
Yeah, they'll have a
20
reconnect fee and late
$26.
payment.
So-
Yeah,
and
you're
then
gonna
that-
have $600 and a connect fee,
And-
and the late fee.
yeah, and the late
what
fee.
you owed, and their, I mean, I know you don't care about their rent or whatever, but, and their rent, I mean, that's gonna just,
That money's just locked up indefinitely, right? The extra, or,
Well, no,
Would they
they
get
go,
that
like, if
600
they
back?
pay on time for 1 whole year, they'll get it all.
They get it all
they'll
back.
get the 600 back.
okay. And how did we come up specifically with 300 for that second
3
time?
times, you mean?
Well, you're doubling it every time, basically, I mean,
Yeah,
I just did, you know, twice the one time and 3 times the next time. I mean,
is that where it ends?
I mean, so it's 300, 300, 300,
yeah,
right?
that's where it ends.
300, 900?
So what,
Let's hope that we never get that far.
what difference would an extra $100 fee be? I'm just confused, why double, triple? Like, would 100, is that not enough, or is that?
Or you're shutting them off anyway. What's the average?
That's more than a whole bill for a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying, what's the average bill? If, I mean, you can't really answer that because you have winter and summer, but what's the loss over 300? You already have 300 of the bill they can't do. So what's the overage there that you're losing?
Well, we don't apply the deposit until their bill is final. So when we shut them off, they come in like 2 days later
Yeah,
and pay the bill, and we turn them back on.
so
Pay the
are
bill
we
plus
gonna
the
sit
reconnect
down
fee
with
and the
these
late fee, right?
26 people and explain to them,
Oh, yeah.
now, come, this is what's gonna happen from now on?
I get the concept, I just don't know where 300, I feel like we could pick any arbitrary number there, that's just,
Insurance are,
well, why not 500? Why not 1,000? How do you pick 300?
that's up to you, and this board to bring forward to council. I mean, I just was trying to, you know, I mean, it can be less. it
Because
can
the
be more.
initial's 300, so that she's just like double.
I mean,
double.
Well, if that's it, I was just asking.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm getting at.
Well, was that it? Is this you
Say
wanted to?
300.
Yeah, that's it. But
Yeah.
we already got that initial, it didn't go
I mean,
anywhere.
I'm hoping it's really, I mean, it's 26.
do you think that scare tactic will work?
I don't know.
I mean, if it's
I
gonna
mean,
work,
I
let's
feel
make
That's what I
it,
mean, I feel like
I
you have
feel-
to sit down with these specifics.
I think it's gonna bury them.
let's make it 1,000.
I mean, I think it's
Why
gonna
not?
bury them.
But,
That's what he
but
buried.
why do we continuously do it every month? Let the same 26 accounts?
We're humans,
I mean, they pay the late fee and
you
they pay the
know,
reconnect
that's
fee.
why.
But why couldn't they do it 2 days earlier and not
I
even
know
be
what you're
shut
saying.
off?
I know what you're saying,
Yeah,
I mean, but they do pay the late fee and the reconnect
They
fee,
do.
right? So,
yeah,
but,
but once you
Well,
shut them
I
off,
mean,
then
that's
they're
bad
hung
enough.
for $600.
yeah, wow,
yeah, that's
The
what I'm
300,
saying.
the pre-300's just gone,
yeah.
and you're not applying that toward their bill, right?
The what?
No, 300 doesn't get applied
Yeah, it don't
ever.
apply to the bill, you're just,
No, it just goes into the deposit account, and it sits there.
So if,
Until-
okay, so let's say,
So let's make it
they
1,000.
get
and it's
300 and then they
2,000.
have to pay another 300 and then they get their act together and they go a whole 12 months. So
And
didn't,
then
they get
you'll
it
get
600
600
back.
I mean, they're paying the late fee and the reconnect fee, like,
But you're consuming that 300, because then the next time they're paying the 300, and then they do it again, they're paying the 300, and then another 300, so it's 600, and then it's a 300 to 300, 300,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
I mean,
No, it only
maybe
goes-
one time.
We're only asking for it twice.
So 900 is,
900.
The
is
initial
Is-
300, and then,
and then after that, what?
Yeah.
Well, probably it just would stay, I mean.
At 900.
Yeah, just stay at 900.
I mean, I don't wanna pay a late fee and reconnect fee, but I pay my bills on time. That's already the
Yeah.
deterrence to me, and if that's what they choose to do, then
Well,
your mom and dad.
Our list starts out, I mean, when we first start, our list starts out at over 100.
Yeah.
And then it starts whittling down to about this 26.
And we get late fees for it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
then
if-
maybe
we
what
just
we
need
need
to
to do is
increase our late fees.
Why? I mean, why?
How
Just
do
because
you-
it's more work
Are they
to
per day?
process it? What does it hurt in the grand scheme for me to pay the bill late?
How do you do your late fees?
The late fee is 10%.
It's not very much.
That's it.
So in the grand scheme, if they pay their bill 3 days late, how does that make the city hall on fire? Like, what's the big deal in the
Say it
grand
again, I didn't
scheme?
catch- Say it again, I didn't
We
catch-
have to pay our bill.
We have to pay
Yeah.
our bills.
Okay,
We have to pay the electric bill.
so if some people are a few days late and they pay a 10% late fee, we can't forget the 10% late fee in this.
Greg, you asked a question, I just responded.
I know, that was just additional info. We pay our bill, but when they pay it, they pay extra, right?
I think you lost us.
Did I lose you? Okay. My point is, yeah, I guess I did,
So
and
we
I
should
apologize. Can I try again to say?
Yeah, no, go
So-
for it.
What she's saying is the deterrent isn't big enough. How do we get a bigger deterrent so they actually pay? on
You're just
time?
doing 10%.
In my question, though,
The bill
which-
is due.
Because we have to send people out to
Why
do
don't-
these jobs,
And it's how many
to
days
turn
late?
it back
It doesn't
on.
have a days late, it's just
If they pay
10%.
it partial and their balance is lower, it's whatever the balance is. It could be lower than their bill amount.
Okay, I'll say this and try to say it nicer, I promise. If they pay their bill 2 days late and then they get 10% extra they get 10% extra, they give to the city, right? What is the long-term harm to the city in that, so that we need to make this so much more of a deterrent that they're never 2 days
I
late
feel
again?
like it's a waste of our employees' time
That would be it.
to keep turning on the same, turning off, turning on.
Well, that's just.
Well, they don't even turn it off,
That's just
though.
a finger touch, yeah,
Yeah,
that's not even labor.
And,
I don't know.
We have to go out to, sometimes
Yeah.
not everything is a
Not yet.
flip of a button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even if it is a waste of their time, though, we are being compensated for that in terms of a 10% late fee.
It's up to this board. If this is something that you would like to remove, I mean, we can do that. I mean, that was why I sent it to you early enough, so that way you would have time to, mull this over. So, if you feel this is too, strict.
Well, I think what you're trying to do is get rid of the delinquent bills,
Right.
late bills. And the only way to do that is to make it painful.
And we want to get rid of them because it hurts the city to have them, or because, I just want a clear sentence, we must get rid of all late bills because.
So, Mr. Edwards,
Just want revenue.
everybody pays their bill. I mean, when I pay my bill on time, okay, shouldn't I expect everybody else to pay their bill on time? I mean,
Yeah, but can you give me in one sentence, we must not have any late bills because, what is the harm to the city substantially to have these late bills with the late payments attached to them?
so that puts less money in our bank account?
It
So
puts
that way-
more eventually with the 10% late fee.
Well, but at the time that maybe we need that money in our bank account to make a payment, we don't have it in our bank account to make a payment. I mean, there
Can we
are
make payments with
consequences.
deposits though? We
No, we
can't.
can't.
Exactly, so the 10% ends up being revenue stream, even though we don't want it.
Yeah,
But the thing is if we can get people to start paying their bills on time, and I do
Why?
agree
Why?
with you. Because they should pay their bill on time.
Well, I'm not their mom and dad. If they pay late, they pay a late fee, so be it. They pay the late fee.
Then maybe what we should
about a per
be doing
day?
is structuring the late fee to where it's where it is a deterrent, where they will,
We
not
make
monthly.
money on the late fees.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we do it per day on some of our rental stuff. So it's like 7% per day of your rent. So if you want to be whatever day's late, it's your problem. I mean, I'll take the
I mean, maybe
I'll
that's,
take the 7%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine with me. How much of a pain in the tail is it for you to do that?
We can put that in there under the section.
Well, it's not if you put it in there, but how much of an inconvenience is it for the city to do that?
It's not, we would have to put it in our ERP system and then
it would calculate it.
it would have to.
And it just pops out, right?
Yeah. I don't know, we'd have to check with Tyler if we can do that because
We would just have to run another penalty process.
every single day.
And I can tell you, when we run the penalty process, there's like 240 people on that list.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I wish people would do in the world to be perfect people, but it's not my job to penalize the heck out of them, especially if it doesn't
It
directly hurt
actually
anybody.
kind of is our job though, as,
So how many people?
But we don't
wait-
lose revenue. We end up with more revenue with the late fees.
Well, so all right, so.
Well, you have 26 people and you have the same 26 people every month.
Right, but.
You're
she's
never
saying
gonna
there's
get-
200
yeah, there, it starts off big and then
Well,
it gets down to the
Here's
same,
one thing you're missing.
yeah.
You've got your late folks,
Yeah,
and then you got your delinquents who aren't paying at all. So that's where you start out with 200 and some folks that are late, and then you end up with 26 that
And it's
don't
just,
pay at
and
all.
sometimes it's just
And they-
people who
they
just
get the check
forget it or
hit
whatever.
The turn-off list.
Yeah. But we do charge to turn it back on, right?
Yes.
But not very much.
Only $26.
No, in the new code.
so for the turn-off people, it'd be $326.
It's
Yeah.
$26 for deactivation and reactivation. Right now,
I
I
don't
think
even
we
know that
only
we
So is that
charge.
twice or
I don't know.
once?
Yeah, one thing.
Right now, we only charge just to deactivate it, but in the new code, it would be for both deactivate and reactivate. So,
So it'd be 300.
no, it'd be $26 for,
To deactivate and to
deactivate and
activate.
$52 total.
So there's an extra 20.
okay, so are we changing the deposit, so are we changing the deposits amounts? Let me ask that. I got
To
it
the
going.
deposit.
By the logic we're applying, I say change it to $1,000 each time.
No, I'm just talking about that,
You're-
that
now you're
scale
just
right
being-
there.
You mean when they fail and they come
No,
back?
I'm just talking about rental.
General, okay,
Just in general.
Oh,
For
no.
new service.
yeah,
Oh,
For new
no, I
service,
don't-
are you okay with that?
yes.
I think so.
Yeah, new
Okay.
service, sure.
Okay, so
Commercial seems,
what are
that's
we,
brutal.
so we're gonna take out, the chronically, in the event that so are we gonna take out if somebody has good service for 12 months, we're not gonna give it back to them? We're gonna keep it?
Well, if you keep it and they bail, then you can use it,
Okay.
right? Is that right,
Right.
currently?
Right, when they final. We
Or
only
they
use the
skip town.
deposits when we final a bill. So if they leave and they final their last bill, that's when we apply the deposit. So,
Or if they just skip town, they don't
right,
talk
that's
to
when
you.
we final.
Yeah,
the
you
bill.
final it, not they.
Okay,
Right.
so we're not going to give them back after the 12 months, so that's going to be taken out. Okay, that's the second paragraph in there. So the delinquent, the next paragraph being chronically delinquent, for the first 12 periods, we're gonna take that out as well,
Where are you?
for the double, where it says chronically delinquent accounts.
The fourth paragraph
That,
down.
yeah, we took out the first 12 months, the 2 times, we're taking out the 2 times, and the 3 times. We're gonna take all those out. Correct?
So,
Okay.
is it possible, I mean, I don't like it, but I get where you're coming from on some of that, but I'd personally be more aligned with having a higher reconnect fee and then not just making it all a deposit they'll never get back to the move.
But we're taking that out.
This is the reconnect, yeah, the reconnect fee. Oh,
Okay.
but then you have an argument to make about the reconnect fee.
But it wouldn't have
Just
to be
make it
$300.
higher.
I mean,
Okay, so
right?
we're gonna go back to, okay, So, okay, where did I have the reconnect fee? The $26 for activation and reconnect. So I can separate the reconnect. What do you want to charge for reconnect?
And that's on page.
That's gonna be
That's-
tough, because if you're charging everybody 26,
Will $26 even pay their wages? How long does it take to reconnect?
how many of them do you even have to?
15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Well, there's different ones. Water does water.
Right.
And electric does electric.
I mean, water's nothing, but electric is probably a little bit more.
Well, they have to put a water meter in.
Yeah, but I mean, can you raise reconnect on them when reconnect for everybody else is the same? I mean, that doesn't.
Well, I mean, it would just be the
that's-
overall reconnect, right? Or
Do what?
What do you talk, I guess I'm confused.
Yeah.
There's just the one reconnect, right? Like what else?
Well,
Well, you have gas,
That's what I'm
too.
saying. You were saying raise the reconnect fee.
Oh, not like the overall reconnect fee, not like the second time, the third time
Oh,
it goes
okay.
up.
I was-
It's just the general reconnect fee, like each time.
So the delinquent account deactivation and reactivation is 26.
So they're only paying,
you want to separate deactivation and have a separate one for reactivation? So what do you suggest that the reactivation cost be?
Cause right now it's,
Both of
it's
them are
26 to do both.
okay,
So
26.
she's saying if you,
You want 26 and
I'm fine with
26?
26 on the Connect fee. I don't think that's where the issue is.
So make sure I understand, it's 26 and 26, so it's 52 total?
Be
Or it's-
52 total,
Yeah,
Okay,
instead of 26 one time.
correct.
right now, it's 26 to deactivate and reactivate, and she's saying split it.
oh,
So
so,
that it's 26 to deactivate, and then they have to pay another 26 to reactivate.
Right.
so we're already kinda doubling it from what it was,
Yes.
right? Okay.
That would double it.
Okay, so maybe that's fine, it's already doubling it from where it was.
Okay, so we'll just.
But
leave
that's
that
not
the
how
That's
it
for
reads right
everybody.
now.
Okay,
It's not how it,
No, it's not how it reads right now. She's gonna change it.
okay.
okay.
So then the issue's still the same about what you're gonna do with your 300. If they come in, is it gonna, we haven't attached that, right? Attach that?
That she's taking that
I'm
out.
taking
That's,
it out.
that's going out for
Oh,
the,
yeah, I already
okay.
took it out.
okay.
Yeah, it's already all out.
I mean, if you guys are passionate about
So
that,
if they-
then,
So you're saying if they get disconnected when they come back in, they're just paying the reconnect fee? And it
They're
is-
just gonna pay the reconnect fee.
Okay, so then,
That's it.
okay. Which is more than it was, so it's, but if you guys really want to have that and there's consensus.
No,
I'm-
it's just-
I'm okay with it, it's 300 seems a lot.
It's just,
that's all.
So I'm going to take out,
That's-
the refunds as well.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's kind of a, yes, I
Okay,
think that,
okay, so, but I am leaving under the refunds, the overpayment. We do have quite, I don't know why, we do have quite a few people that have, quite a credit on their accounts. Some of them are in the hundreds to close to 1,000. That's a liability for for us, because they're carrying,
oh, because like they pay more than there's
Yes.
that much more?
How are they
Yes.
doing that?
I have no idea, sir. But they do, and so I put in here that if you have a credit balance, of like the credit will be applied to your bill, but, if it's, overpayment of over 500, we're gonna write you a check and send it
Yes.
to you, because we can't
Yeah.
have that liability on our.
I've never heard of that, but I don't know how you would ever get
It's not
pay
a
more than your
savings
bill.
account.
Well, once I didn't know what my bill was, and I just estimated, I think it's about 150, and then,
right.
but the next
Yeah.
month they
I've
credited
seen
me
quite
the
a few people,
difference.
they'll pay like 10 over, and then they just let that build.
Right,
Yeah.
10, yeah, but I saw one that's over $1,000.
That's crazy.
Maybe they think they're gonna fall in bad times.
I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one is the write-off of uncollectible accounts. We have quite a few delinquent accounts. You have nowhere in your policy for me to write these off. So what the process is that I run something in our ERP that gives me a list of all the people that have outstanding uncollectible debt towards us. And then I take a resolution to the council, and so this way we can write these off of our, it's just good bookkeeping, okay? It doesn't mean that we forgive this debt, it just means that we're writing it off.
Clears up your taxes.
Yes, and so it helps us. And it is part of the Missouri revised state statute that allows us to do that, okay? Delinquent account collection, Andy and I are working to find a collection service, because like I told you, your aging report that I've collected is over, close to $250,000 for utilities, and we need to, send
That's
that
why
off
she's
to a
wanting to put
collection agency and
$300.
see if
So
they
there's
can help us
$250,000 that hasn't been paid.
Pardon me?
$250,000 that hasn't been paid.
Yes, sir, 250.
That's
Yes.
why she's wanting to put $300.
There's part of our deficit right there.
Yes.
Would they try to pursue those people if they're in,
Oh, yeah,
Montana?
anywhere. One of the good things about St. James is you collect their social security numbers, and they'll use those social security numbers to track them down.
And we got that in the policy, actually, that we were doing that.
that's
We
it,
got-
you can't get utilities
Yeah,
without
it's
giving your
down there
social
on,
security number?
Pardon me?
We can't get utilities without giving you our social?
Correct.
You gotta be kidding.
It's on the application.
Holy crap.
I know.
What about driver's license instead?
They take a picture of it.
Instead of a social?
Yes,
So we
No.
have an option.
you have an option.
Okay, as long as there's an option.
Yes. The other thing is you did not have in your, policy delinquent account settlements, payment plans. And so I wrote in there what we're doing currently now, and so those payment plans are in there now. And, we do allow 2 payment plans every 12 months. After the second payment plan, if you fail those, then they meet with me. I'm the only person that can do a 3rd payment plan, me or the mayor. And then we schedule with them and work with them to have a third payment plan. And sometimes if they're rather large, as you well know, I bring those to this board as well, okay, for those payment plans. And then the referral to the collection agency, and then the next one, and I'm sorry, Andy, I'm really off the thing, but don't worry about it. The next one is the policy for fees and charges. The only thing that I did add was definitions under applicability. There, what new service activation is, what the activation, is, like the technicians will not go out to the very next day. I put in there, new service application is $20, that's what we're charging right now. I didn't go up on that. Delinquent account deactivation and reactivation is $26. Premium, this is new. If you want to have your services turned on in the same day, then you can ask for a premium, but you will have to pay $52, okay? If you have a medical condition, we don't have this in our policy, but we will now, then you will need to have some kind of document from your doctor that you have a medical condition, and that we will document that in your account. It doesn't mean that you get free service, okay? But it also, what happens is we may not shut you off, but we will work with you to get your bill paid. The gas pilot relight service is in there. If for some reason the gas goes out because we are working on it, then we will go in there and relight your pilot light. If it's something that our service, if we're working on your gas and your pilot light on your furnace goes out, we will go in there and relight your pilot. The late payment penalty fee is 10%, that did not change. The bank return item and stop payment fee is 25, that has not changed. The residential solid waste container replacement fee, that is in the policy that was adopted by this board and also by the council. That's $62, that's the replacement of a container.
Before we turn the page, on D.
D,
Yeah, on D on that page, do we, need the wording requiring dispatch of personnel to deactivate? Is that something we can do remotely on some of that now, or does?
some we can and some we can't, sir. If we have if the customer service, like Andy If they have like a remote way of doing it, then she can do it inside, but we are not completely set up yet.
No water, we can't do that.
Water, we can't do at all.
And you
Yeah.
can't do gas.
Right, and we can't do gas either.
Okay, I was just wondering if we needed if we wanted to keep, requiring dispatch of personnel, or if it was just a general fee, if it mattered, if they were dispatched or not.
Well, we may have to dispatch, so that's why I left that in, so.
But this only says requiring, so if we don't have to dispatch, then they don't get charged anything with how it's written right now.
On the premium?
On D, if we don't
Oh, D,
dispatch, yeah,
okay.
if we don't dispatch, then they wouldn't have to pay the fee with how it's written. I don't know if that was the intent or not.
So processing fee for each transaction requiring dispatch of personnel. So water, we will always dispatch. So it doesn't really make any difference. I mean, if we're turning on, we're never just going to turn on electric,
Okay,
okay? So,
and they will have water, so we're all
Oh, yeah.
clear. Yeah, okay.
okay, the only thing that's new is the solid waste notice warning. This was passed, when y'all adopted section 230.070. This is where the rollout, cart collection, we had in there, when this has to do with the overfilling of the carts. And this was when we have a lot of people that overfill the carts, and we have like warning, we don't charge an offense for the warning, and then the second offense, we charge $10, and then the third offense, we charge $3. After the third offense, our supervisors go out to the resident, and they talk with them about, they will send them an extra cart, let them know that it's a $6 cost every month, and they will have to keep that cart for 3 months. If after 3 months they feel that they do not have the need for that cart, then they can call customer service and we will pick that cart up.
Are we charging the fee, like the $10, when we're doing that? Are we taking the extra trash then, or are we just charging the fee and leaving the trash too?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I think they leave the trash.
They
If
leave
it's
the
on
trash.
If it's up, I think they're taking the trash.
If it's
They're
in the
dumping-
can, but it's not on the side.
Right. If it's on the side, they're not taking it, but if it's in the can, but they're taking pictures of it and they're putting in that NovoShare?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're putting it in the NovoShare and they're documenting it, and then they're charging them the extra $10, and then the third time, $15, and then they're actually going and visiting them at their home.
You're charging them $10 if the lid's open and there's a bag on top?
A
Is that
bag on top.
The lid's open and there's still
Well,
a bag.
we're talking about the lids being like,
I know,
Way
so you're getting
open.
charged $10 because the lid's open, basically.
right.
Right.
And there's some
You really think
other-
that's necessary?
Yeah, there's.
Yes.
Issue is
I mean,
we're
really?
trying to keep the critters from dragging stuff out, and the other issue is if it's raining, that's additional weight that goes into the trucks.
Yeah, but
I mean, you can say, well, it's just water. Well, the issue is that's trash juice,
yeah,
and we can't run with the plugs out because we get phone calls
Yeah,
about
no, I
dumping
know.
trash juice.
Well, if you've got a lot of trash, pay $6 and get another container.
But so if it's in the container, even if the container's up, they will take it all.
They will
Yes.
take it, but
well,
they get
originally
charged.
it was, they were gonna put it on the ground. Has that gone away? Cause that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
That was originally the thing was, we're gonna take it out of your can and we're gonna put it on the ground.
I don't
That-
think they're doing that. But it's not just, trash, it's all those things that are listed on that notice, that are on there as well. So what we're gonna do is those are stickers that we're gonna have made, and they will actually be on the trash can. That's what the notice is, letting them know you've been warned. Here's what here's what the notice is all about. They'll check off which one it is. And then that way, when they take their trash can in, they'll see the warning, and they'll, and they can call us if they have any, concerns or comments.
So are you gonna charge us cause our can was out more than 24 hours? Cause that sounds pretty
Yes, That's in the
ridiculous.
ordinance.
Let's get rid of it. That's ridiculous.
Was adopted by council.
I mean, we can recommend to be changed if we
Yeah,
want to.
well, I mean, it's
Good.
just ridiculous, 24 hours. I mean, How many people leave their can out that long anyway? And even if they do,
You'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised.
is anyone calling and complaining?
I got 3 on my street.
Is anyone calling and
I
complaining?
did.
Seems to-
Well, you've also got issues with people building little corrals out by the street in the right of way,
Yeah,
and I mean, that just goes on down the list, so.
yeah.
Part of the city council's, directives was to, kind of clean up town, so that's part of it.
So my thought personally would be on the fees. I get why we have it and get to be deterrent and all those things, right? But I would personally rather just have the fee be the amount of the second can, what it would be versus double that.
So the second offense be instead of $10, $6?
Yeah, I just have it be 6 and 6, and then after that you say, nope, you gotta get the extra one.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I kinda disagree, but,
Okay.
What were you?
you know, if they're gonna have that much trash, they know they're gonna have that much trash, give them another can for $6 and they won't have to pay the $10. I don't get it, you know. People know if they're gonna have
You mean don't
trash.
even give them 3 offenses?
It doesn't bother me, cause I don't put out
Oh.
one bag a week, but
Yeah.
a lot of people do.
Yeah,
No, I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
It
it's
actually
just,
says that trash will be removed and placed on the ground. So you can't tell me in one breath that you're gonna charge us $10 for our trash can sitting out 24 hours, and then in the same breath say, oh, it was over the top, let's just sit it on the side of the road and leave it there for 24 hours. That's ridiculous. As you said, right there, trash will be removed and placed on the ground for lid to shut. Then you're gonna leave trash on the side of the road, because that's better than leaving the trash can on the side of the road.
so what would you wanna change on
That makes, well, it's just the whole concept. Well, how about I don't get charged $10 if my trash can's sitting outside? We don't live in California. It shouldn't even be on there.
Is the 24-hour thing on this, or is that separate?
It's in the city council.
It's in the section 230.
It's like, you can't say you wanna beautify the town and then it takes as many calories, I know it costs us money to get rid
okay.
of trash bags.
My thing is, why didn't you say this when we discussed it?
I wasn't here. You talking
don't-
about when we passed this?
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
Oh,
I
well,
missed
but
that
you can,
meeting.
you can still have reached out and,
I work 15 hours a day.
Well, we could tweak
I'm
anything we want now, though, right? If we wanted to, that's what we gotta
I
decide.
just
I
don't
don't even know, I
understand
don't
why
remember
you're
that
so
one at all.
angry about something that has been around for months
The thing to me is.
and
you-
could have been brought up months
You can't
ago.
say you're gonna take the trash out of the top of the can and put it on the ground when you can throw it in the truck, if you care about beautifying town. And I wasn't here, and I literally worked.
And I understand that, but I don't understand why you're being so angry about something that could have been addressed months ago.
Passionate.
It's
Yeah,
It's not
passionate.
angry, it's passionate.
Well,
It's just
okay,
about silly
well,
things.
So
tit for tat.
are we doing 6, 10? Nothing?
I mean, it gets back to,
makes
are we
more money.
punishing people, or are we doing it to recoup stuff for the city?
Well, this is extra work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
potential for extra work.
Well,
10,
it's extra, okay, so it's extra work more than if they had 2 cans that they paid $1.50 a
Well,
week for?
yeah, they can lift 2 cans with the truck itself. They don't have to, they just hook them up, dump them, hook them up, dump them, they're gone. This here, they have to manually pick everything up and put it in the truck.
If it
Okay.
falls out or if it's,
They're trying to get more flowing with the trash. Just like the people up the road from me just moved out, and there's this trash pile is half as big as this room that they left. Now, they'll have to pick that up eventually.
If they are picking it up, I'm good on it,
Yeah.
right?
We're
But
also
if
trying to
they're,
cut down on workman's comp.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
workman's comp
That's-
was the
They'll
other
get
big.
charged for it eventually if the landlord's paying for it, or but if they leave and, again, there's your delinquent. I don't know.
And I have to tell you, our workers' comp has really gone down since we've gotten these cards.
Yeah.
I mean, practically to 0. And they were having.
Oh my God, every week.
Oh, yeah, multiple every week.
And didn't you say
You
that
mean
if
just
it's consistent, then
claims or just the rate?
Claims.
that our actual workman's comp
Oh, actually.
cost will go down?
Yeah.
It was.
Insurance?
It was
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, they were getting hit in the head, they were having stuff drip all over them. I mean, it was,
I mean, I
Could you guys say one more time?
Drains on-
Where's the part where it mentions they won't take the trash?
Well, that was the thing that Justin had.
It's right here on the
That was
bottom.
last month or 2 months ago or whenever it was.
Yeah.
So
It's not in the,
It's not in
that.
this
No, no, it's already real.
And that is the draft.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that is a
will
draft.
Doesn't need
Well,
to
Go
exist
against,
yet.
I mean, this will be adopted,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, okay.
That one won't be in, that one won't be
Well,
in
you're
there.
gonna have it made, it's right here in my hand. so-
Well, yeah, but this would supersede that. This would take the
Yes.
place of that. So that would
Okay.
be gone. Okay.
I mean, all we're setting in here are just the rates for that code.
Right.
That's all. Because we didn't set rates at that code. Right. So,
So everybody's understanding though is if the lid's open, but then there's a bag in it, they're gonna take that trash, but then put the,
within reason.
Yes.
okay,
Within
yeah.
reason.
I mean, you've
So
seen
if
people
it's lifted up a little
absolutely
bit, they'll
overflowing, and even if
Oh,
they
yeah, it's the
rolled
obnoxious
it,
ones.
yeah.
take- Yeah.
But
I mean,
most
they
of
didn't
them-
roll them out to the curb with them full like that. They had to like
Yeah.
add it to
Yeah.
it at the curb.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've
that's
smashed
the
my
number,
lid
the
down
15,
before.
it's- I don't want double
Are we
whammy people.
leaving it the way it is, the 10 and 15, which is the recommendation from the supervisors? Or you want 6 for each one of these? What,
Personally, I'm okay with 10 and 15. I mean,
10?
I get the logic.
Just leave it like it is.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever it is, it's way better than we were a couple years ago. So,
So, the next one to talk about is new, this is a policy, it's, the reason, oh, you need to go back to 35, sorry. The next one is the landlord service contract. So we do this, we really don't have a policy for it. This is a revised one. So we have, these are, this would streamline our landlord contracts. So in this policy, we allow landlords to, they have 2 ways. They can either say, I'm the landlord, I'm the owner of this property, I'm going to rent out this property, and when when the person that is renting my property moves out, I want you to keep the utilities on, okay? You can just move it to my name, okay? That way, they don't have to come in, there's no, help me Andy, there's no deposit, there's no,
You guys already have that though.
yeah, there's no interruption of service. It just moves from whoever was in there into their name,
Yeah.
okay? The other way is we totally disconnect, but they have a choice. And in this contract, they mark, on there, transfer the service into my name or disconnect me, okay? But they've got to talk to us. They need to tell us, when somebody moves out, again, they need to tell us when these people move out. Some are great about that. They really are. And some, as we mentioned earlier, are not. And so one of the things is that we put in here, we sort of highlighted this, and sorry, it's in gray because I did this in black and white. We added this, and this is straight out of this code, and this is the most important thing that's in the code. If a tenant moves out and the rental property manager, the management, because sometimes you have management companies, or the rental property owner does not contact the utility office to transfer the utility services to the landlord or the property manager, then the outstanding overdue usage or bill will be the responsibility of the landlord or property manager. And any new tenant will not be able to move into the property until the account has been paid. Or they won't be able to move in, they won't get utility services until the bill is paid.
Does not contact the utility office to transfer, do we need like a time window on that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, a lot of times they know, sometimes some people will, like for me, I know the person I rent from, he wants, a month in advance notice when I'm moving out. I don't know how everybody else is, but, typically if you know that your lease is coming up, you want to know when your lease is. But if you're like month to month, we need to know as soon as possible, but you know, I mean, we can disconnect the next day, you know. But we need to know. That's part of the problem. And just like I told you earlier about one, I mean, nobody even called us and told us that somebody had moved out. And that is, I'm not saying that's atypical, but it happens more than you can imagine. A lot.
No, I get where that's headed, I just
Yeah.
feel like we're missing a chunk there. Maybe it would be like by the time the person moves out or within X days of them moving. We just gotta know, like, you gotta, where I'm getting at there.
In the code or on the land, the service contract?
The highlighted part here, if a tenant moves out and the rental property management or rental property owner does not contact the utility office to transfer utility services to the landlord or property manager, when do they gotta do the contacting? Like within, like immediately upon the moving, or, it's just kinda up for interpretation there, kinda more than we probably want it.
I don't know, how often, what's the longest you've seen and what's the shortest?
We even have some of the customers get disconnected and the landlord was in there cleaning even though the tenant moved out. We didn't know until they were disconnected for non-payment. So, I mean, they could have moved out the first, the 10th, the 20th.
Yeah, we were never informed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we are informed, I mean, we could say that, you know, at the latest, let's say 3 days before they move out, you know? We've even had it to where the landlord has called us and told us to, we've even had it where somebody that's leasing will come in and disconnect on a certain day, and then the landlord will call us and say, no, they're not moving out until like a week later. And they will ask us to put the services back on in their name, and we're telling them, I'm sorry, but we can't. We've already changed it over to your name. You know, because they came in and they told us that their lease was up and they are moving out. Like, let's say they say, we're moving out on the 15th, and they come in, and so they tell us, you know, disconnect me on the 15th, or change it, you know, transfer it, because we have this, and it says transfer me, and they'll say, I'm moving out on the 15th. We'll come to find out they didn't actually move out till the 21st. But we transferred it on the 15th. And I know. Yeah. We're just trying to find a way to where the landlord, somebody is taking responsibility for these outstanding electric bills that are not getting, our utility bills that are not getting paid on these homes.
No, I
I don't know.
probably need a
This
clock.
has been like a fight for years, I mean, it's like a constant thing for
Yeah.
years and years and years and years and years. I mean,
Like, would you guys say, like, would it be within a certain amount of time of when they moved? And sometimes people move out with no notice, they're just gone, and then the landlord's like, oh, okay, you know?
Yeah.
So if we don't have a timeline there in which they need to notify people, it just kind of opens us up to that gray area where they can contest and be like, well, I just notified you. I don't know.
Within a week?
Within a week of the person moving. I mean, I'm not opposed to that at all. I mean, I just think we want some number there.
Like what kind, like
There's
if the
not.
person moves out and they don't say it, and then the landlord doesn't say anything, like meet in the middle is who's responsible for,
Yeah,
What date
who's
and when?
responsible for that week?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gray area.
And how quick do they gotta say it, though?
Yeah.
I mean,
but how, there's no
Right.
way of knowing either.
yeah, it's just the landlord's word on, no, they moved out 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's all gray area. There's no way to.
Yeah, if the landlord does not contact the utility office to transfer, so they could have been there almost a month and then call you guys and be like, hey, we gotta transfer it now. And then they'd be, I don't know, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can never know for sure. All we can know is their word of when they say they moved out, but we probably wanna have some, within a week of when the
Just put
services
5 business
should be.
days.
Yeah, I'm good with,
There's no good answer to that.
and see
And it
how
would
it
be-
goes.
It's always he said, she said.
Yeah,
It would be on that line where it says, if a tenant moves out and the rental property manager or property owner does not contact the utility office, you know,
Yeah, within,
within, right, within, 1 week of them moving out, the utilities will be transferred to the landlord, and sometimes we don't know that
I was
either.
gonna say, how do you even know when
Well,
someone moves out?
Sometimes we're quite the detective, let me tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not gonna be clean no matter what we do.
No, it's not.
He's trying to
And
cover our
that was
bases.
the other reason why I didn't put a timeline in there, because sometimes we don't know.
Yeah.
I say you just
Let
put
everybody-
one in there and then see how that goes, and then if
Okay.
we have to adjust, keep fiddling with it.
3 days, 5 days, 3 days?
5 days?
5 days, let's make it
Yeah.
5
Okay.
days.
Okay, I'll add the 5 days in there, okay? 5 business days, how's that?
Yep, 5 business days.
Okay,
And I really don't know like the actual true legality above the ordinance level on if we can actually say, oh, you're stuck with their bill in that way. I mean, I kind of
Well, I
wonder
mean,
about that a little
They
bit.
didn't tell them.
I mean, the
Well-
local level, yeah, we have the bill, but I theoretically, I don't
They
know.
need to be told that when they rent the property.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's how some right up the road from me moved out in the middle of the night.
Well, it's gonna be an education we're
Yes.
gonna have to send out a letter to all of the landlords, because they're gonna have to re-sign these agreements with us as well. So, the only thing new is, I did add a section in there about utility liens. We're not able to do utility liens on electric and natural gas, per Missouri law, but we can do it for, water and wastewater if we need to. But I just did put that language in there. If we ever need to do a utility lien, we can do it on that, but, it wouldn't be for a whole lot, since water and usually sewer, not that much. The next section and last section is on billing adjustments. We really don't have any policy on billing adjustments, but what they're really covering is like any kind of meter service errors that we may have. If a meter is like overcharging or undercharging, high consumption issues. If you have a customer that has like a leaky toilet or something like that, a leak, we can work with the customer and go back 3 months of the leak and see what the billing impact is, and work with them on doing a billing adjustment for that, because, sometimes when you've got a really serious leak, in the front yard, let's say, it could be a lot of usage, especially if it's, especially since this city charges the consumption on sewer.
Yeah.
So we're adjusting water and sewer. So we put that in there. We also have, service errors that happen for unmetered and unbilled service areas. Theft, there was nothing in the policy on theft, and we added that in there as well. And meter tampering and damage to meters, if somebody damages our meter, we have no way of charging somebody for that meter, and we do now. If they damage an existing meter, we will be charging them $500 for that meter, for tampering or damage, theft to any of the following. Meter lock damage, damage to a broken valve, meter broken, meter stolen, anything like that. So we can charge up to $500 for that. So, and that is the policy. So I'll be taking this to council on the May 26th meeting, so I'll make those adjustments that you make recommendations for. And then I'll bring those to them on the 26th, okay? So you will need Andy, they'll need to approve the resolution with the adjustments that you made for tonight.
I'm afraid one more thing. So the theft of equipment, that should already be, I'm not saying we don't need the fee to, right? But that would already be covered as a misdemeanor crime too, wouldn't it?
I think,
We do process.
Depends on what it is.
yeah.
If it's over 750, it's not a misdemeanor, right?
Right.
Right.
So it becomes a felony.
Comes
Okay, but so already doing that side, this is just,
Oh, we could do a police report, yeah. We
Okay.
call the police, yeah.
so we good with everything? We wanna make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion,
Just as amended, I guess, is
Yes.
that fair? Okay.
as amended.
Yeah.
Second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. So, we got one more thing?
Gee, let me tell you, I'm making up for missing.
Right.
So the next one, I don't have a PowerPoint, this is a really easy one. As you know, we brought to you a couple of months ago, a master of service agreement for electric. What we did was, we did a request for proposals for a master service agreement, for general engineering. And that included, streets, stormwater, water, wastewater, and natural gas. Did I hit them all? Wow, I think I did.
Yeah, and then any other general,
Yeah, and
Like
anything else that was general engineering that we may need to know. While I was out, Lyle, covered for me, but we followed our procurement code. We put the RFP out, we had 3 proposals, that came in. The selection advisory committee, comprised of, someone from the supervisors from each one of those, sections. They went over all of the proposals, and they elected to only do business with the top 2, which was Toth and Associates. And the proposal is, their proposal and their cost is attached to there, and the other one is with Archer. It's CM Archer doing business as Archer Elgin. Yes. And so, they're local, they're in Rolla, but, and we've been doing business with Toad for a while now. And so they have elected, so anytime we need, it's exactly just like electrical, anytime we have to do any business, we present a project to them. It's a task, they would send us a quote of what it would cost to do that. And then they would use that, the cost that they quoted us. And then we would use this master agreement for any of the performances of those services and conditions. It is the exact same master agreement because, as you know, I'm trying to use template contracts. Moving forward, this was approved by our city attorney, and he and I put this together. So it's the exact same contract that we did for the electrical. It's just one of those that you fill in the blank. So.
Was it each one did something it's gonna do?
They both can do all of them.
Oh, okay.
Any of them. They all have, I think, some expertise than others. You know, Archer has history with us.
so I mean, it's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
Archer does have history with us.
Yeah.
They know all of our systems, they know everything that we've got.
Yeah.
However, with the way things are going right now, there's a lot of projects out there. Although, as our consulting engineer, as they have been for many years, they don't typically do projects inside the city limits for developers. But they are busy with other towns and other developers in other areas. So there's times where a project will come up and they just don't have time to get to it in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
So then you would flip over to,
Yeah,
okay. That's what I thought. It was something like that. I remembered.
We need a motion and a second to approve that, I guess?
I'll make a motion to accept the service agreement.
Motion.
Second.
All right, all in
All
favor?
3 of these will go to
Masters.
council. That will go to council on May the 11th for approval.
Okay, so for all 3, yeah, we're doing all of them at once,
All of
right?
these, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Then miscellaneous, next meeting, I guess, adjourn, right? I'm assuming you unanimously adjourn, right?
Go for it.
Yeah.
tomorrow about this.
Yes, let me know.
Yeah.
Were you gonna set it there, or do I gotta come get it?
In June.